Right, I've had my coffee, I've now cooled down, I've put my hair a bit up, so that feels a bit more better. And I've got my fan on, so that's really good. Yeah, so I thought I would do a video. Oh, sorry, I thought I still had a film on that I was watching, but I did pause it. I obviously didn't want the film playing in the background. I'm getting my words mixed up today. Yes, so I thought I would do a video basically about perimenopause. So I am 46 this year in December, and I'd say I've been experiencing the symptoms for about 2 years roughly. And I went to my GP. I kept going back to my GP saying, look, there's just something not right. I don't feel the same person. And it was just like, oh, do you want to go on antidepressants? It's like, no, I don't want to be going on antidepressants. Don't get me wrong, they do help some people, but I would prefer not to go on them, because I've known people that have gone on them, and sometimes it has helped, but other times from what I've seen, it makes people suffer with paranoia, which is not good. So I was just like, no, I don't need to go on antidepressants. I need you to tell me if I'm going through the menopause or the start of the menopause. Obviously, I've got polycystic ovary syndrome as well. So, and I've got in my family, there's history of diabetes, and there's history of thyroid, but obviously I have that checked, well, I should have it checked on a regular basis. They actually only test the diabetes once a year. They don't really test me for thyroid, and unless I say, can we just double check things. So sorry, I keep looking over there. I have this habit of like not actually looking at the camera, so I do apologise. But yeah, so you just feel like you're not really getting anywhere, and when you do have the blood test, it comes back that your normal FSH level, sorry, your FSH levels are normal. Now, from what I've been reading up on the research and everything, these blood tests are supposed to be repeated at least twice a month, because of, with PCOS, you get irregular periods anyway. And, so that's quite frustrating. And, I've had 2 blood tests literally in the last 2 years. And yeah, I just get told, oh no, you're not really going your blood tests have come back like this. And I've just seen so many videos about the fact that you're not listened to, and you're explaining your symptoms, and you're thinking, it's not in my head, there is something seriously going on here, so I know for a fact that I'm going through it. I don't care if you're telling me that I'm not going through it. All they say to you is, yeah, well, you're only going through it if you don't have a period for a whole year. No, that is full-blown menopause. I'm on about the perimenopause. So you just feel like you get nowhere, which is really, really frustrating. And there's so many women that have posted videos on this that I've seen, and it's just like, wow, there's just so many women where they're not being listened to, which is really, really frustrating. So anyway, skip forward to the symptoms that I get. So I get the symptoms where I get the itchy skin. I get the symptoms where I just want to pack a bag and go somewhere and not come back, which is very unlike me. I get the symptoms where the hot flushing. Oh my god, the hot flushing. And it's all like internal. So it's just really hard, which obviously when I'm hot flushing, I'm getting insomnia because I'm not sleeping. So it's just like a vicious cycle. And you get insomnia with polycystic ovaries as well. So it just feels like a double whammy. Sorry if this video just sounds like, oh my god, this is just literally another woman ranting. But yeah, this is just literally just to tell you how it is. My temper last year, wow, I'm quite, I suppose, a placid person. I can take so much before I sort of let rip. But last year, it was like it was a short fuse. You know, any little comment that might have been said or anything like that, and I would want to switch just like that. Which is not good. It's not a good place to be in, and you know it stresses you out, and yeah, awful. So basically, I decided to buy Menopace tablets. So basically, they're not prescribed by the doctor, and they do all different forms of them. And I've been on them now for about a year and a half, and they've helped in regards to the temper side of it, the rages that you get. That's, they've actually calmed me down so that I don't blow up, which is good and good for other people. But what I have found is, I should have actually brought the packet up so that you could see it. So the company's called Viabotics. And they're really good because basically they're for perimenopause, when you're in the menopause, and even when you finish the menopause. So they are extremely good tablets. B6, B12, you've got iron in there, etc, etc. So yeah, do have a look at them if you obviously require them. And so with the hot flushes though, they are getting worse. So I have now brought Menopace again, but these are called the evening times. They've got chamomile in it and another ingredient. Now they reckon roughly it takes about a month to get into them, so this is only my third day of having them. So with all the tablets, you take one tablet after a meal, so basically after your dinner. And yeah, so I'm just going to see how it goes. Before that, I did try the Menopace ones with red clover in. For some reason, they didn't agree with my body. I don't know if it was the red clover itself, but I took them roughly for about a week, and I just felt awful, and I thought, no, this is not right. So, but who knows, they could work for somebody else. So I switched back to the just original Menopace tablets, and yeah, so obviously I'll let you know how I get on with those. So I am going to give it a month. But yeah, it's just awful because the hormones are just everywhere. I mean, 1 minute you're crying, 1 minute you've got so much energy, you feel like you can run a marathon, and the other time you just want to be left alone. You don't want to like speak to anybody, you don't want to hear noise. So that is really, it's hard because you're up down up down up down, and in your head you're thinking like, this is not me. I mean, with the little bit of background about myself, I used to suffer with depression on and off, but I never went on medication for it, because it wasn't all the time. But yeah, it was just like, I'd get just depressed about how I looked, that I wasn't pretty enough. When I got polycystic ovaries, I used to be a size 16. So when I got polycystic ovaries, I put on weight, and it was just really hard to accept it. I joined a gym, I lost the weight, but then I plateaued. And then I was tired from doing the gym, so I gave the gym up. So yeah, it was just like, whoa. Um, the menopause is, yeah, it's basically shit. As women will know, and it's also shit for your partners because they are, they're going through it as well, and you do sort of think, Well, like yesterday, I was just off the charts, you know, when you just have those moments. So, yeah, that's just basically about perimenopause and, yeah, what it can bring. And it's definitely a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. Um, and obviously, you don't always have the same symptoms. Some women can experience different symptoms. They're just some of the symptoms that you know that I've been experiencing. And so what I'm trying to do at the moment is obviously I'm yes, I suppose I'm overspending. I mean, my partner thinks I overspend to cheer myself up, and actually, in a way, he is right, to be fair. But, what woman doesn't like to shop? um, so, yeah, so basically, when I'm shopping now, I look at things differently. I don't look at it and think, oh, that wouldn't look right on me, I'm too big. Because that's how I used to think. And I try and cover up in baggy t shirts, baggy trousers, but would never feel feminine, just wouldn't feel nice or anything like that, or good about myself. So I would say that towards the last part of last year into this year, I've started to come out of my comfort zone in regards to what clothes I'm buying. I don't look at something now and think, oh God, that would just look awful on me. I've got a big stomach, I've got big arms, big legs, and a big bum. Like, it's just going to look awful. But what I do now is if I like the look of something, I'll try it on. If it doesn't work for me, then it doesn't get brought, you know. And I think as you get older, as my partner says, when I probably go into my 50s, I'd probably then not care about the little things, as he says. Because I think as women, you worry about what you look like, you worry what other people are going to think about you. But then you think, but why am I thinking like that? Like, this is silly. Live your life. You get one life and you have to live it. So that's the mode that I've got into. Yes, I do have my down days. I could sit there and I could watch a film and then burst into tears. Walking helps as well, so that's really good. But yeah, I just think, it's life is too short to be worrying about what other people think of you. And a lot of the times it's in your head. And, and then there's that, I suppose, small minority of people who might say something or give you a look. But personally, if I catch someone looking at me in a way that I think, they're taking the piss, I just stick my finger up at them and walk off. Or I just say, oh, have you got a problem? Because you just can't, yeah, you've got to try and be more positive. Although it's hard, but you do have to try and be more positive. And yeah, like there's days when you just feel like crap, you're bloated and you're just like, oh, I look fat, I look horrible. And then you'll have a day where you'll feel really, really good about yourself. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But as I'm getting older, I'm just trying to say to myself, come out of your comfort zone and just live life. So life is too short. So yeah, so that is just basically a discussion about perimenopause and the lovely symptoms you can get and how you're not listened to by the GPs. At one stage, I did actually ask the GP if I could have a hysterectomy. I think this was when I was in my early 30s, and they were like, no, you're too young, you're at childbearing age. And I was like, but I don't want children. But no, they wouldn't do it. I was actually thinking of maybe paying privately and getting it done, but I'm in two minds, so I don't know. I don't know if I will. Maybe if the symptoms get a lot worse, obviously the periods can be very, very heavy. I won't go into too much detail, but as women know, you know, they can be very, very heavy, very, very, very painful. But yeah, who knows? I might try it. But yeah, I even when the doctor says I'm definitely going through the menopause, I don't want to be put on HRT because I've just read so many horror stories about cancers and things like that. But then for other women it works and you know they're fine. But I'd rather not. Um, for me, I just wouldn't really want to take that chance. But so yeah, anyway, so hopefully you enjoyed that video and you're thinking, oh my god, this is just literally another woman ranting. uh, and yeah, just keep living life, people, and keep going. Bye.